All right, on this episode of the LPDS, we get into some more, we get into some more dating app trends as far as the prompts go. We talk a little bit about some other LPDS universe updates and current events in the world. We get into a little bit of WWE and the Junction. And of course, we got a nice little Cage fact for everybody, as usual. And all that's coming up right now. All right, Jabronis, we're back. Welcome back to the Libretti Podcast Diary Show. I'm your host, Libretti, the show that talks about nothing but tries to find the lessons in everything. We have a good time doing it. At least I do. Haven't gotten a lot of hotline calls lately, as you could tell because we haven't been playing hotline calls on here lately. But if you guys do feel so inclined to hit the hotline, leave a voicemail with anything you want. 202-670-1114 is the number. Feel free to call at any time. I do get some texts from people every once in a while, some fans, which is nice. Obviously, I put that. I'm not showing that on the show, putting that on the show here because most people are just listening to this anyway and not watching it in YouTube land. But feel free to call it. Whatever you guys want. Questions, advice, recommendations. Whatever you guys want to put in there, call that hotline, 202-670-1114. I hope everybody had a good week. Mine was hectic and busy, and there was some bad, and there was some good involved, and it sort of ended on even keel, I guess you could say. It ended on, I broke even. So, which is fine by me. You're always going to have lulls, and there's going to be bad news, and there's going to be hurdles in life. And it's how you respond to those hurdles is what's going to, determine whether you're successful or not in this world. So I think we've handled our hurdles pretty good this past week. Nothing I want to really get into right now, because it's not worth it. Not that I'm hiding anything. It's just not worth talking about at this juncture until quote unquote completion of the hurdle, if you will. And then I'll be excited to share the updates with that. But right now, no updates in that regard. Not going to divulge too much information on that. It's work career driven, so keep that close. That's why I don't like to put all my stuff out there. Sorry, YouTube is acting up with the the video is acting up right now. So if you're watching in YouTube land, I apologize for that. Anyway, damn, this video is really pissing me off. We're really starting off hot here, folks. Let me tell you. And we're ending a blah week and kicking off a week with blah right off the bat with this damn video. I'm so tired of this crap. I can't figure out the tech. I'm going crazy and I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. I don't know. Anyway, it's allergy season. Not too happy about that. Here in Texas, it's allergy season. But so far, so good as far as the symptoms. It's sort of mild right now. I have good days and bad days. I'll never understand it. I'll say this every year till I'm blue in the face. I'll never understand how I'm. All right, we're back. I apologize for the delay. This video stuff really not making me happy right now. I had an outburst off camera. I will definitely be deleting that footage because it could be very incriminating. And we don't want that out there, folks. Anyway, it's allergy season. Is that what I was talking about? Allergies. I will never understand, how I continue to spend a lot of time outside and in the world in an environment, and I'm getting worse when it comes to allergies. And B, I'll never understand how these allergy medications that say take this every day, you'll be good to go, no worries, never work for me. It's a crapshoot. I think they're just sugar pills, or just placebos, or some other drug because it doesn't help with my allergies at all. I've been taking the stuff since January, and it's an absolute crapshoot. Some days are good, some days are bad, and I cannot attribute it to any of the medications I'm taking. And I don't want to go in to take those like steroid shots that they offer at the doctor's office because who knows what's in those? And is that going to make me better, or is that going to make me less immune to future allergies and make it worse in the long run? I don't know. I just hate this time of year. I'm very jealous of the people who don't get allergies. Very jealous of them. At the end of the day, though, it is a first world problem. It's a slightly bigger first world problem for me because, as you can see in YouTube land, I have a honker of a schnoz. So when I do have the itchies going on in there and the runny nose and all the stuff that comes with allergy season, it's extrapolated to a cartoonish level. And while it's funny for everybody around, and even sometimes me, it's just one of those things that makes a small problem slightly larger and slightly more annoying. Because now I have to use like rolls of paper towels to keep my schnoz at bay. I can't just use regular tissues like a normal human. I have to go to the zoo and buy whatever paper they use to wipe the nose of the elephants out there and the toucans. And that's very annoying to me. And again, a first world problem, whatever. But we plow through. Speaking of another first world problem I dealt with earlier, this was also very annoying, but a very first world problem. What the hell was I doing? I had an outburst. That's what I did. I had an outburst. I was trying to open something. What the hell was I trying to open? I can't remember exactly what I was doing. It was like I was trying to open like, the little wrapper on top of like a pill bottle or any canister of like creatine powder or anything like that. You got to get the little cellophane wrap off or whatever it is. Not cellophane, but the plastic wrap, the sealant. It was something like that, something very minor, and you're not really paying attention. You're just trying to open it, and all of a sudden it opens too hard, and everything goes flying everywhere. And then there's like the domino effect when you open it, and then the powder flies everywhere, and you're trying to like corral it all in, and you accidentally hit something else, and then the water falls, and then the water gets into your breakfast, and then everything, and it just becomes like a domino effect of a hot mess, like a Rube Goldberg. How you doing? One of those little mechanisms where one thing happens and it sets off all the different mechanisms for the rest of the thing. It was just, again, I did it in the confines of my home where I have a roof over my head. I have climate control with the HVAC. I was in my kitchen, which is a nice open kitchen, dicking around with stuff that I have the money to buy to nourish my body and to remain healthy. So in the grand scheme of things, whatever. It's not a big deal. You could get over it. But in the heat of the moment, it just is so infuriating. Hello. That one little stupid thing happens like that, and it sets off, and now it's 5 to 10 extra minutes of cleanup and getting things back to normal and calming yourself down and getting back into whatever routine you were in. And like I said, grand scheme of things, not a big deal. We figured it out. We powered through. But in the moment, man, is that annoying. Anyway, we're doing okay though. We powered through. Anyway, moving on. I want to talk about this very quickly because I don't think I talked about it specifically in the last episode, but I'm not going to get too much into it because I don't want to get too angry. The Yankees. Updates on the Yankees. Apparently, DJ LeMahieu is hurt again. Now, if you're not tracking DJ LeMahieu, he is supposedly their top candidate for third base this year. And I loved him in the past. He's been great in the past. The last couple years, he's been absolute stinker. But he's supposed to be their candidate for third base because they didn't do anything to get an actual third baseman this year. They crapped the bed and didn't do it. He just got hurt. And I haven't seen any information on how long it's going to be, if he's going to make it to the start of the season, what's going to happen with him. I don't know if it's a real injury and it's just a compound. It's probably the same foot again because they never rehab it properly every time he breaks his same foot. Or I don't know if it's a fake injury because he's stinking it up in spring training and they don't really want to play him anymore. So they're putting him on the DL so they can say, oh, he's hurt. He can't play. And it's an easy out for everybody. He keeps his contract money, they get their insurance on him, and they could play somebody else. I don't know if that's the case. But the hits just keep on coming. And this is all to preface for all the Yankee fans out there that are willfully ignorant and fat, dumb, and happy and just think that the Yankees are this great team still. This is all evidence now that we can connect later on when they end up shitting the bed, when the season's on the line, or when they actually need to know how to play baseball and they need clutch hitting and clutch pitching, and they didn't do anything in the beginning to prepare for it. Don't say the LPDS didn't tell you guys first. Don't say that we are jumping on the bandwagon and we're angry now. We've been angry the whole time. And as a fan of a sports team, it's okay to be angry at your team. I don't hate the Yankees. I don't want them to do terrible like some fans out there that are happy when they do bad just because they say they can say they're right. I don't want to be right with any of this. I want the Yankees to be good, actually good, and when they make a World Series, actually have a chance to win it. Last year, they had no chance to win it, and we called it from the jump. The Creature called it from the jump. LPDS called it from the jump that they were a fluke of a team, and the only reason why they were going to get in there is because the rest of the league was terrible. And that's exactly what happened. When it came time to play baseball against a good baseball team, they absolutely shit the bed. And that's what's going to happen this year. If they have even a fluke of a good year, I don't know how bad the other teams are this season coming up. But I don't expect the Yankees to keep getting away with being mediocre at best against garbage competition to coast into the playoffs again. That's not going to happen every year. Okay? They're going to get their comeuppance soon enough, and they're going to be outed in the regular season for being an awful team. I guess it was 2 seasons ago they were pretty terrible. But I don't want any of that to happen. But as a fan, it's okay to be pissed at your team for not doing anything to actually want to get better and compete for a World Series. Especially when you know the GM of your team that you root for is purposely just trying to make more profits and doesn't actually care about winning a World Series. And you're allowed to be pissed at that. And for the other Yankees fans out there who are clueless and just think, oh yeah, this is the year. This is the year for them. Stop it. You're the reason why Cashman is getting away with all this stuff. Because he keeps showing up to the games and spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars each game on the tickets and food and merch. Even though they're disrespecting the fan base. Not so much the players. They're trying. A lot of them stink, but they're still trying, most of them. It's the GM and it's Hal Steinbrenner by extension because he's allowing it to happen as the owner, as a principal owner. And I'm giving everybody out there, all the Yankees fans, I'm giving you permission to be pissed at that and hold them accountable for once and not walk around blindly like a happy dumb idiot. Oh yeah, this is the Yankees year. They're the pinstripes. Nobody's better. Everybody's better right now, except for like the Rockies, who shouldn't even be a team. I don't even know why they exist. They stink. Even the Marlins, who stink and get no fans, win a World Series every once in a while. The Rockies shouldn't even exist as a team. That's the team that the Yanks are better than. And even I don't know in a 3-game series if they would sweep them. Who knows with these Yankees? So you have permission now, and it's better that you take it now, take this opportunity now. But you have permission to be angry and hold the team accountable, hold the GM and the ownership accountable for not building and preparing the team for actual success to give the fans what we really want. I don't care about everybody hitting 30, 40 home runs if you're going to get absolutely dog-walked and bent over a barrel in the World Series. Don't care about that. Win the World Series. I'll even take a World Series if the whole rest of the league is terrible and you happen to coast in and beat a terrible team in the World Series and never actually have to prove that you're a good team. I'll take that over what happened the past several years, especially last year with that embarrassing showing at the World Series against the Dodgers. They absolutely dog-walked them. Except for, playoff Stan. He was the only one who did anything, of course. And I'll give Soto. I love Soto offensively. Defensively, nightmare. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about the Yankees. You're allowed to be pissed at your team and still love your team. Okay? You don't have to be blindly, stupidly believing that they're the best in the league every single season when they're not. That's all I have to say about that. Moving on. We got some more good news, bad news in the LPDS community, universe. I guess it's more good news than bad news, but in the short term, I would consider it sort of bad news. For me, not for anybody else. For me, I'm being selfish here. My gym, the Fitness Connection, is closing officially at the end of the month, end of March. Closing its doors. It's not moving to a new location. It's just closing. But they're offering the membership that you have at the gym at the next closest location, which is 20 minutes away. Now, it's good news because the gym was terrible. We've talked about this in the past. The place was crawling with inconsiderate, clueless, rude idiots. I talked about the guy who blew the snot rocket on the floor. He hadn't been back in a while. I hope that he finally just got kicked out because they had multiple complaints on that little weasel of a guy. But that was normal operating procedure over there. The weights were never put back. Nobody re-racked anything. Everything was in disarray all the time. So it's good news they're finally closing. Do I think they're quitters? Yeah. Because it looks like they got feedback saying, hey, this is what's wrong with the gym, and you're not going to get people to return as members if you keep allowing this bullshit to happen with broken equipment that you don't fix, people disrespecting stuff, not cleaning things, not putting things away, littering everywhere. And their response to all that feedback was, we'll just close up. We'll just quit. Forget about it. Instead of actually doing something about the problem, we're just going to permanently sweep it under the rug and close up shop. So, yeah, I do think they're quitters for that. But, again, the gym stunk. So it obviously had poor leadership, so it needed to happen. So I'm happy about that, I guess. The bad news is, the sad news really for me is two things. One, the next closest gym in that franchise is 20 minutes away. No, I'm not going there. Okay? And then on top of that, this gym was literally behind my house. I was walking there. I was getting steps in, and it was close. It was as close as somebody living in an apartment complex going to their apartment complex gym. That's how close it was. And it removes any excuse to not go to and get your workout in. And believe me, I have many days where I'm looking for an excuse to not go work out sometimes. Not because I don't like working out, just because I'm tired or I have other stuff I need to do. And working out is tough. It's not easy. So, any excuse. This removed almost all the excuses. It was cheap, it was accessible, it was close. And now that's all going to be gone. And the closest one that they offer is 20 minutes away. I'm not going to that gym. If that was the only gym in town, I'd just do Rocky workouts in my house, in my yard, my garage. I'd go collect rocks and fill buckets up and lift them up. Find logs to carry like Rocky did in Rocky 4. That's all I would do. Because I'm not driving 20 minutes in traffic after a workday or before a workday to go to the gym like that. No chance. That adds an extra 40 minutes to an hour, depending on the actual traffic, to the already busy days that I have. I don't need that excuse. So I'm going to go at a different gym franchise. There's some LA Fitnesses around that are closer by. There's a Blink Fitness. I might go check out the Blink. I've heard some good things. It's closer. It's a little bit farther as far as walking distance, but it's still technically within walking distance. So I might give that a shot. I don't know. Just to check it out. We'll see what the prices are there. But again, another first world problem. I have to go figure out this gym situation because I got to work out and I don't have enough gear in my garage to do a full workout. And I don't have the upfront financials, the upfront capital to buy all the stuff I need to complete the gym right now. I'm in money save mode until I get more clients for Spearhead. I don't want to just frivolously spend money everywhere, throw money around. So got to figure this gym thing out because I got to keep working out. And when I don't work out for a while, it obviously affects your health. It affects my mental state. It's generally depressing and sad because then you feel bad. I feel like a lazy piece of garbage. I feel like I didn't accomplish something. I feel like I'm getting farther away from my health and fitness goals. It's not good overall. I don't like doing it. Whenever I can, even when I'm on vacation, I get some sort of workout in, whether it's a run, steps, push-ups in the hotel room. If there's a gym around, I'll go to it. Like, I love it. I love the outcome of a post-workout session. I love everything about it. So, got to figure that out. So, good news, bad news on the gym closing it at the end of the month. We have a month to figure it out. Anyway, moving on. We got some new dating app prompt trends going on. I want to keep all the indoor cats updated on what the outdoor cats are dealing with these days. Because I know you guys have been out of the dating world for a while, and some of you like to get entertained by this stuff. And also, if I were an indoor cat, I would be hearing this stuff and thanking my lucky stars, thanking the big man upstairs in red, Santa Claus, that I don't have to deal with this crap anymore. Unfortunately, I'm an outdoor cat, and it's just part of the world we live in right now. But the latest trends I've seen a lot, so I'm only going to cover a couple right now, and then if some of these other ones remain popular, I'll talk about them later on. But the latest ones have been this one right here is send me a pic of your dad so I know what you look like, what you're going to look like when we're older. Now, factually speaking, it's probably, not a bad thing to consider. I certainly know I look like my dad. Will I look like my dad looks currently when I'm his age? I don't think so. Only because I am much more into fitness and working out than he was at my age. So I don't think I also don't have the same lanky shape as him. He was always shaped like Mike Wazowski. Long, skinny arms and legs with no muscle tone on there. And then, rotund midsection. And that's not a jab at him. That's just how he was That's how he was built. He was built like Mike Wazowski and grew from Despicable Me. I'm like Skinny grew. I'm like the Luigi to his Mario. So I'll probably look like a skinnier, hopefully a little slightly more muscular version of him, but it's not far off to think that you're going to look like your dad when he's older. So I get that. On the other hand, though, what would women think if men requested that or demanded that of them? Send me a picture of your old mom so I know what your old ass is going to look like when you're an old ass grandma. Now, obviously, it's not going to be worded like that, but that's how they're going to hear it. That's how we hear it when we say, send me a picture of your dad. It's like, why? So you can see what my old wrinkly balls are going to look like? No way. I want you to be attracted to me now. I don't want you to get turned off by the idea of an old man. We're all going to become old, wrinkly, bald, wrinkly, labiated people. Sorry, T, family show. So we're just not thinking about that right now. I don't want to think about 30, 40 years ahead. Let's just enjoy the present. Let's move forward with the now. Imagine getting rejected because a girl thinks you're going to look bad when you're older. I mean, obviously that's not the girl for you or the guy for you if a guy rejects a girl for that. Obviously you're dodging a bullet, but in the moment that feeling's got to suck. Like you're telling me because of what you think is going to happen in the future with my physical appearance, you're willing to throw everything else out the window. Piece of garbage move. And I know that if a guy put that on his profile, women would be up in arms. Don't judge me on what you think I'm going to look like, you piece of shit. You misogynist piece of shit. And I don't blame him for that. I see both sides here. Like, logically, it makes sense what you want to, like, they would probably look alike. You could see, anytime you see pictures of family members, you look, oh, yeah, you look like your dad. You look like your mom. I get that. It makes complete logical sense to me. But from the emotional side of the house, don't ask anything of me or demand anything of me that if the shoe was on the other foot, if the sides were flipped, you would be up in arms about. Okay? We can't have double standards on either side. All right? The double standards have to stop for both of us, men and women. I'm not blaming women for all this. I'm blaming people. It happens on both sides. We have to stop. That's the only way we're going to move forward amicably and be equal and the same and fair, if you will, is if we stop with the double standards. It's not okay for you to ask that of me if I can't ask that of you and vice versa. So you're not getting a picture of my old man. Send me a picture of your loose, wrinkly mom, and we'll call it even. Or if you have a height requirement, I get to tell you my weight requirement. And guess what? You have control of your weight more than I have control of my height. But we can't do that. And that's fine. I don't really want to do that. But this is where the double standards become a problem. Don't ask me about my shit if you can't handle me asking you about your shit. So let's stop the double standards. We got to stop it with that trend. To send a pic of your dad? No. Send a pic of your loose, wrinkly, grandma-looking mother. And we'll call it even. You can look at a pic all day of my old, bald, whiny dad with his loose skin, 5-year plan. We could do that. You want to trade pics? Let's trade pics. Anyway, the next trend I want to talk about is I swear all these they're all word for word the same. This is what I don't understand, and I am sure men do it too. I don't know where people get it from though. I still don't know. I've talked about this God knows how many times. I still don't know where the men and women are getting these trend prompts from. Maybe are they seeing it on somebody else's profile and thinking like, "Oh, that's funny. I'll use that," and then it just spreads like wildfire. I don't know. But they're word for word. This next one is, "Don't hate me if I ... say I'm not hungry, but then try to steal your fries, or ask for some of your food, or get mad at you when you don't order me any extra food." There's like 3 versions of that particular trend prompt, and they're all. That's the only I get dozens of them. Don't hate me if, or don't be mad if I say I'm not hungry and I steal your fries. I get mad at you for not. I'm not going to get mad. Nobody cares. Everybody knows, everybody on the guy side knows about girl dinner and girl lunch and girl meals. You're never hungry, and then you'll eat hot Cheetos and have a sake bomb, and that's your lunch. And that's fine. You have a Monster Energy drink and 3 grapes. Got it. But cut the prompts out. Like, be original with the prompts. Okay? And again, back to the double standard. Because I've seen this a lot. It's not trending as nearly as much, but I see this a lot where girls will call out on their profile prompts or their Bumble profile bios. They'll call out shit that guys say all the time on their profiles. We get it. You like whiskey, you like bourbon, you like working out, and whatever else other common things that guys say on there. I don't know. Or they'll say, "Spare me, stop with the fish pics. Nobody wants to see a picture of you with a fish." We get to call out this bullshit too. That's all I'm saying. Okay? We need to be original as men on our dating apps, on our outdoor cat activities. So do you. Okay? The effort has to go both ways, folks. That's all I'm ever going to say about this. And unfortunately, the trending prompts, I don't see the guys because I don't look for guys on the dating apps. Maybe I should. Maybe I'll have more success. I don't know, for the algorithm. But I'm sure, guy. This is. I'm calling out the ladies here because that's all I see. But I'll call out the guys too. I call out everybody. We all have to be original, okay? But you can't call out somebody for being unoriginal or having a ridiculous standard or requesting something ridiculous if you're also going to do the same. If you're going to be unoriginal, if you're going to have a ridiculous standard, and you're going to make a ridiculous request. So we have to be better. That is likely the reason why some of us are primarily using online dating apps and still single. We have to get out of the Instagram, social media world of dating and get back to the real world of dating, where it's effort and consistency and love and respect and originality, and not swiping on the human meat market looking for hots, and that's it. And the fake dopamine hits of likes and matches. And if it's not a perfect 10 in every category, you're swiping left on somebody. We got to stop doing that. That's not real. Nobody's a perfect. All you can do is look for the perfect match to your puzzle piece. Okay, because we all have things we're better at. We all have holes that we need filled, so to speak, that our perfect match will fill for us, so to speak. That's all we need to look for. We need to stop with the high expectations and bullshit standards. We need to stop with the unoriginality. We need to stop with the ridiculous requests. We need to stop with the double standards. We need to stop with the dating bullshit. And this is for all the outdoor cats out there, men and women alike. We need to all do better. And I know the indoor cats are sitting there laughing their asses off because they're watching us from the inside their houses, looking out the window, watching us eat each other and fight each other to death because we don't even know how to date. And we're the outdoor cats who need to be out there dating. We don't even know how to do that. And they're sitting in there, cozy in their nice homes, happy as pigs in shit, buying new lamps for their houses, watching congressional hearings. They don't have to watch reality shows to be hip to what's trending so they could talk about it on a first date. And I'm not mad at them. I'm happy for them. I want to be that. I want to strive to be that. I want the most exciting part of my day to be going to Home Depot or Lowe's with my soulmate, my partner in crime, and working on a project together, and we mess up the project, and we figure it out, and then we have a nice meal together at home. Maybe we go for a walk after with the dogs, and then we watch some right down the middle fastball batting practice pitch of a TV show or a movie. Nothing crazy, nothing too much, too trendy or too dramatic. Just a nice Seinfeld reruns, sure. Watch an old movie, watch an old Happy Gilmore. Something we know we both like. We've seen it a billion times. It doesn't matter because we're not there for the movie. We're there to enjoy each other's company inside our nice little cozy, happy indoor cat lives. That's the dream right there. At least for me, anyway. I don't want to have to feel obligated to go out and mingle with people just because I'm looking for that future indoor cat life. Which is a reason why I'm on the online dating apps. But I need to get back out there because the online dating apps they're in a different universe, and it's not what I'm looking for as far as the reality that they want to live in with their relationships. Clearly, it's too unoriginal. And it drags you down. You know that you are the company you keep. You're the sum of the 5 people you hang out with most. If I'm living in that world all the time, swiping, I'm gonna eventually become the villain I'm trying to avoid. The unoriginal, the superficial, the high standards, the ridiculous request. Like, I don't want to become that. I don't want anybody to become that. So I got to get out of there, and I have to do something else I don't want to do, which is get out to society so I can find another outdoor cat to make us both indoor cats and bring us back out of society into our bubble of love and happiness. So anyway, that's the dating app trends going on these days, folks. All the people that are in relationships that get annoyed by their spouse or their significant other for something, the grass is greener where you water it, folks. Okay? The grass is not greener on the other side. It's greener where you water it. All right? If you're in a relationship and you think, oh, I wish I was single and slaying out there, getting all the chicks and picking up all the fellas. If you got a good woman, if you got a good man, water that relationship. It's like Billy Madison, like Adam Sandler or Billy Madison, where he's holding on to the fat kid and he's shaking him, and the kid's like, I wish I could go to Ike school. And he's like, stay here. Stay as long as you can for the love of God, because he knows the grass is not always greener. Stay inside. Stay inside with your cat. Go buy some catnip. Go buy little toys and laser pointers to play with and water your relationship grass. Don't go on the other side. I've been on both sides. Even in bad relationships, the good parts of a bad relationship are still, for me, tenfold better than being on your own. Now, I'm happy on my own. I'm very content with my life. I have a good life, and I'm continuing to go up in the success and happiness realm for me. It continues to get better, and I'm very happy with that. And I would like to share that with somebody. I would like to share that happiness and grow that with somebody. I'm not saying one bit at all that I need somebody or else I'm not going to be happy. No. But it is much better to be able to share that, even when you do it with your friends. When something good happens in your life and your friends are there to experience and share that with you, it makes it so much better. Which is another reason why I don't mind going to things like weddings and birthday parties and stuff that I thought was stupid in the past. I still think the events themselves are stupid, but it's a chance to be with your friends and create those moments. Because the good times are much better with the people that are important to you like that. So yeah, am I happy on my own? Yeah, I built a really great life for myself. And I'm not just giving that lip service to convince myself and everybody else that the wheels aren't falling off. I've been pretty honest with you guys on here. I like to think I'm always pretty honest and as objective as possible. The wheels they wobble every once in a while. You get a flat tire every once in a while. That's life. Happiness is a fleeting feeling that's cyclical, up and down, like a sine and cosine wave. But my contentment is steady and also high. And it's also on the rise. It's a little bit of a ramp up, which is great. So yeah, I have a great life that I've built for myself with the help of hard work and the people around me to help. But what I would love to share that. You want to share in the good. When good things happen to you, you want to share that. You want to bask in that. I have a great life. I want to brag about that and share that with somebody else who has a great life on their own. Now we got a double great lives as indoor cats, watching Seinfeld reruns, ordering Chinese takeout, finding a new Italian restaurant around, going for a nice stroll, and doing some people watching in the park or something. People watching is so much more fun with someone you enjoy to create stories about them than to sit there by yourself and have to create these lavish stories for these characters in your head. You can't even talk about it out loud. So, all the indoor cats out there, water your own. If you think you want to be out there in the outdoor world as a stray again, nuh-uh. Cherish it. Stay as long as you can. Cherish it. And I'll see you guys soon on the inside. With that, let's get into the good stuff. We'll step into the cage.
Okay, let's run.
All right. Today's Into the Cage segment is proudly sponsored by Colonel Angus's Linguistics Training. Are you looking to blend in more with the Southern gentleman in your area and can't nail down the linguistics quite right? I can't currently. Well, Colonel Angus has you covered. Colonel Angus has developed a tongue-twisting technique that you can practice for only 10 minutes a day with just a few simple mouth maneuvers. All you have to do is practice once a day for that 10 minutes, and you'll have the silky smooth Confederate Southern drawl in no time. So to become a certified Colonel Angus linguist champion today, visit www.tonguetied.com and use the promo code DOTHEALPHABET for 29% off your course lessons. My allergies are getting worse right now. The flare-up's getting worse, so we're going to make the junction quick. We're going to make all this stuff quick, so I apologize for that because I don't want you to have to, listen to me slobbering and sniffling and coughing up a lung and sneezing all over the place, and I don't want you to have to look at me picking my nose on YouTube land. But I am starting to work on learning some more Italian lately. I'd eventually like to speak it, but I'm in that cycle now where I've been talking about this for years on and off, for years and years and years, and I'm back on it. I'm back on it again, where I want to learn Italian so I can go there and mingle a little bit with the society in the Italian motherland. So I'm waiting for Colonel Angus to create a nice Italian version of his program And in the meantime, I'll have to go to a different program and figure it out and get a less successful version than what the good Colonel is providing. Anyway, sponsor sucks. Cage fact. It's really a new Nic Cage movie alert. I don't have any cool sound effects for a movie alert, a new Cage alert, but another movie by the great one is coming out next month, April, and it's called Gunslingers. And this is a movie I actually forgot that he was even filming. That's all I have to say about that. I forgot he was filming it, but the trailer came out. It came out honestly, it came out to mixed reviews. I don't necessarily know why. I think the reason why is because Cage has been on such an upswing in the movies he's put out the last 5 or so years, 3 to 5 years. It's been unbelievable. Hit after hit after hit after hit. And this one seems to be more of like lower budget, which there's a lot of actors in there I don't know, but there's a lot of actors I do know in there. Like Heather Graham's in it. Cage, obviously. Some other folks in there that you've seen that I can't remember off the top of my head. But there was a lot of mixed reviews on the trailer in the comments section of the YouTube talking about it, saying, "Oh, Nic Cage is back to his B quality movies. This is gonna suck." Blah blah blah. The quality looks terrible. Looks like somebody filmed it on their phone. Whatever. I always go back to the same thing we've been talking about forever with Nic Cage, and he's admitted this as well. The movies might not be great. They're not all going to be winners. Some of them are going to outright stink. But Nic Cage himself will always be 100% full throttle Nic Cage. You're always going to get the best out of him in every performance. So even if the movie doesn't look great in the trailer to you, just remember who else is in the movie. And if nothing else, you're going to get, oh, the movie was okay, but Nic Cage did it again. That's always what it's going to be, no matter what. Now, this movie is about, there's a bounty on this guy's head and like his family's heads, and all these all these bounty hunters are out there to try to get this guy. But apparently he's not really a bad guy, I guess. So I think Nic Cage is protecting him and the family, and it's like 200 bounty hunters against Cage and friends, and it's just old. It's an old Western with Nic Cage in it, and of course he's dressed all weird. He's dressed like one of those snake oil salesmen that you used to see in the old Westerns that would sell you the special elixirs for everything on their little wagons. That's what he's dressed like, one of those like weird elixir peddling wizard types. And of course he is. Of course he's not going to just be a regular cowboy. He's always going to stand out. So I'm excited for that. I don't know if I'll see it in theaters depending on when it comes out and what I'm doing then. But it's Nic Cage in the Wild West. So, yeah, I'm going to watch it. And that's it. That's the Cage fact for you guys. Movie, new movie update, really. Not so much a fact, but there you go. Moving on over to the Junction. Spin the logo up. I don't have too much to say here. I kind of flapped my gills before about other stuff, but I wanted to talk about the most recent events in the WWE world a little bit. As you know, I'm a fan still. I understand the situation with scripted. They're not always really getting punched. Whatever. Got it. It's still fun to watch. I still like to act like a little kid and go to the pay-per-views when I can. I haven't been to one in a while with the Bone Crusher, so we need to set that up soon. But in the most recent pay-per-view, this is spoiler alert for anybody else who cares out there, but I think everybody who cares already knows. But John Cena has finally, after 20 something years in the business, has finally turned heel. Now, anybody not in the wrestling world, the heel is the bad guy. Usually, if you look back historically of all the big names in wrestling, they all have a heel turn. They're all at one point bad guys. Maybe they start out as the bad guy and they switch over to the baby face or whatever they call it in the biz, the good guy. But everybody flips back and forth at least once. But John Cena, for his whole 20 plus, however long career he's had so far, I think this is his last year before he gets out, finally turned heel. And he did it by hugging Cody Rhodes, who's the current WWE champion. I still don't know why. I think he stinks. And then right behind Cody Rhodes when they were hugging was The Rock telling John Cena, that's it. It's time to get him. It's time to get him. And then John Cena kicks him in the nuts, knocks him down, and then they start bashing his head in. And the crowd went wild. And for the first time in 20 plus years of John Cena WWE career, I finally like him. I am finally a fan. He did it. He won me over. And maybe that's why he did it. Maybe that's why he decided finally it's time. I can't go any longer with the LPDS world not liking me. I need to earn their respect, and he absolutely earned it. Because he was always the babyface, and I've been saying this for years. Now, I'm going to preface this. John Cena, the actor, the human being, the real life John Cena, love him. He's great in movies. He's a good human being. He's funny, good act. Like, I like John Cena. But his character, the role he plays in WWE, the hustle, loyalty, respect, and he salutes and he's got the dog tags and he wears the jorts and he's never actually been in the military and this and that. Hate that guy. I've always hated that John Cena. I always hated wrestling Cena. I've said it forever that the only people who like him are children and mothers. The mothers of those children. Because he's wholesome. If my kid likes him, he must be a good guy. And that's the guy I want my kids to be a fan of. John Cena. He's all about hustle and respect and loyalty. And he has his little jerk-off towel that he throws to the fans. And he wears jorts. And he's got these sweatbands on his arms that he throws to the kids. And they love him, and I love him too. And he looks like Ernest Scared Stupid, except on a bunch of steroids. Even though I don't think John Cena is actually on steroids, that's what he looked like. He looks like roided up Ernest. And I hated him forever. Because I didn't get it. Where was the turn? You can't just be the good guy all the time. He was such a mush good guy. Oh, that's all about following the rules and respect and loyalty, blah, 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 blah. This is wrestling. This is wrestling. The one rule in WWE is there really are no rules. Sure, you could get in trouble and get suspended by Vince McMahon when he was running the show, and they had all these other side stories of guys, getting in trouble and this and that. But in the WWE universe, in the ring, never. There are no rules. Look at Stone Cold's career. Stone Cold went into the hospital and beat the shit out of Vince McMahon in the hospital with a piss pan, with a bedpan. He picked up a car Triple H was in and lifted it up on a cherry picker 30 feet in the air and then dropped it down on its head and killed Triple H on live television. What else was there? Who drove the big rig into the ambulance? Was that Stone Cold too, or was that Triple, or was that Big Show? I don't know. Bo Crusher can help me figure that out. Where they drove the big rig truck into the ambulance. I think The Rock was in the ambulance. I don't remember exactly what was going on, but there are no rules. Braun Strowman lifted up a truck and dumped it on somebody. How many times did Mae Young, or whatever her name is, the old lady, get suplexed into a table? Undertaker coming back from the dead, burying people alive, jumping off of cages. Oh, there are no rules. But John Cena had to keep. No, I have to salute. I have to throw my sweat towel at the kids that says hustle, respect, and loyalty, and jerk offs. And I'm the good guy. I'm the Boy Scout. I wear jorts. And even when he was in his little, like, gangsta thug rap era, he was still a boob. He still couldn't pull. It wasn't a heel turn. It was like just a cringy, like, I'm trying out this new trend kind of thing. And he sucked. I hate him all the time. John Cena. I've seen enough. That's the best sign the Bone Crusher ever wrote on a poster for a wrestling event, and it still, to this day, will always be the best sign. I've seen enough. Pointing at the kids and the moms out there, get rid of him. He's garbage. Stop it with the Boy Scout stuff. Be a real true champion. I know he's won it 16 times, the championship belt. Whatever. He's probably going to break the record and win 17, 18 coming up before he retires. And I hated him for it. And I don't want him to win that 17th and 18th. Or should I say I didn't want him to win. I didn't want him at all. Until he turned heel. Finally. After all these years of the same tired, boring bullcrap with Cena, and everybody loving him for it, I didn't understand it. He finally turns over to the dark side where he belongs. And that's what I've been saying this whole time. John Cena is not he is the enemy. Okay? He puts on a good show. You think he's the good guy. He's the enemy. Just like in Star Wars with Luke Skywalker. Everybody loves Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi and Qui-Gon Jinn and all the quote-unquote like rebel good guys. And why the Emperor might be bad, the Vince McMahon of the Star Wars community might be bad, Darth Vader was the good guy. Okay? The rebels just used the term rebels to hide the fact that they were just terrorists. Trying to just cause order and disorder and chaos amongst the masses, amongst an otherwise okay universe. An otherwise thriving universe. Yes, the current emperor was not a good guy. But you don't revolt every single time you got a guy you don't like in there. You just go vote him out. Or just kill him. You don't have to crush the empire. Just get rid of him. All this to say, John Cena is the rebel side. Everyone thought he was the good guy. Oh, I use the Force. I do everything for good. Everything is for good. Darth Vader is bad. Everything we do is good. Everything John Cena does is good. He salutes. He wears jorts. He takes his shirt off. He throws it to the kids. It gives the mothers the vapors. He's the good guy. No. Darth Vader was the good guy. Darth Vader got kidnapped by a child trafficking Qui-Gon Jinn, and then they tried to brainwash him into thinking he was going to use this Force, and we were going to go with the rebellion. We're going to make you the rebellion leader. And he finally snapped to and realized what the hell was going on. He was being trafficked this whole time. And they tried to make him out to be the bad guy because he wanted to do something about it. He wanted to take down his captors. And now John Cena went from the loser Luke Skywalker, the fake good guy that everybody loved for some reason, and he flipped the switch, and now he's Anakin. Now he's Darth Vader. Okay, he realized that McMahon and Triple H, old Triple, were using him as their puppet master to get all the ticket sales and the merch sales from the kids and the moms for years and years and years. And The Rock's been telling him this whole time, The Rock is like the emperor now. Join us. Join the actual rebellious side. Join the dark side. Join the real D-Generation X side. Triple's corporate now. He's not D-Generation X anymore. He's corporate. He shaved his ponytail. He's done. Join the real dark side. And finally, an Anakin Cena, Darth Cena, finally caved in and realized, all you stupid kids and stupid moms out there were the enemy the whole time. I don't want to be that goober anymore. I want to ride with the champions, the true winners, the true good guys. The Rock, Stone Cold, Undertaker. All these guys who had no problem getting bashed by the fans and the WWE universe for their whole, forever. They still stuck true to themselves. And Cena was playing this game. He was a puppet. He was a puppet in jorts for years and years and years, and now he flipped back. He flipped to the actual good side, the darker side. And now I want to see him win the 17th championship or 18th or whatever it is to break the record, to shut old Ric Flair up, old drunk, senile Ric Flair up once and for all, who I love, but he's an old, drunk, senile old man. Shut them all up as evil Cena, as heel Cena, as Darth Cena. That's what I've wanted forever. And it's finally happening, and I couldn't be happier. Now, I will say this. The only reason why I'm talking about this so much is not because I think this is the biggest heel turn of all time. It's only because the biggest heel turns of all wrestling history and of all time didn't happen when we were the LPDS universe. This was pre-universe, pre-podcast, PP. So I want to go out, and say this is not the biggest heel turn. It was a big surprise, but there are too many people who were happy about this. When he turned, the pop in that arena was crazy. And it was not all booze, believe me. There was too many people who liked it for it to be the biggest, craziest heel turn of all time. And I think it's because so many people have just been sick of the Cena Boy Scout role. There's too many people that hated babyface Cena to make this the biggest heel turn. And I was one of them. Now, I'm still happy about the turn. This is what I wanted the whole time, but it's not the biggest. Okay? Stone Cold shaking hands with Vince McMahon, that's bigger in my opinion. Hulk Hogan is probably the biggest. I don't think there's a bigger heel turn than Hulk Hogan, WCW, going from Hulkamania to being the third man of the NWO. I think that's the biggest heel turn. That's the most memorable. That is the heel turn. Bash at the Beach. It was in Daytona. Was it 2000 maybe? There was all these rumblings of the third man of the NWO to join Nash and Razor Ramon, whatever his name was at the time. I don't think it was Razor. I think it was, what's his name? Forgot. Anyway, Bone Crusher will help me out on that. And they're beating the piss out of Macho Man Randy Savage, and then Hulkamania comes out, and he's going to go help out his boy Macho. And I love Macho. Don't get me wrong. In fact, I think he joined the NWO eventually when everybody was part of it, when they turned everybody. But Hulk comes out in his yellow Hulkamania gear. The crowd's loving it. Nash and Razor, they leave, and then he scares him out of the ring, and just when you think he's gonna go pick up Macho and dust him off and help him out, bam, leg drop. A crushing blow to Macho. And to paint you the picture of the difference between Cena and Hulk, there was not a single human being in the wrestling world at the time who did not like Hulk Hogan. He was the guy. Now, we're not going to argue the reasons why and the stuff behind the scenes, that he was actually a little bit of a weasel and stuff to do what he had to do to be the golden boy. But in the wrestling world, he was one of, if not the most universally liked and loved wrestler by all the fans in the history of wrestling. He might be. Again, Bone Crusher can chime in and correct me if there's somebody else, but at that time, not one person I know with a heartbeat did not like Hulk Hogan. So when he turned on Macho and revealed that he was the third man of the NWO, the New World Order, everybody was booing. You could go watch it on the YouTubes. Right after this, you could go watch a video. It was a crushing blow to the wrestling fandom, the wrestling fan community. Because we all loved him. We all loved him. God, these allergies are bad. Sorry, folks. And when he dropped that leg drop on him and then started going after him, and then he was celebrating with Nash and Razor, the fans were so angry they were throwing litter and garbage into the ring at them. Everybody was angry. Everybody watching was angry. There was not a soul in the universe who was a fan of wrestling who was not mad at that. It changed the game. It changed the game. This Cena turn does not change the game. It doesn't move the needle anywhere close to as much as the Hogan turn or even the Stone Cold turn. It's just too welcomed of a heel turn. As shocking as it was, because you thought Cena's going to break the record and he's going to be the only guy to never turn. But unfortunately for Cena, people were tired of his shtick. They also know in the world of wrestling, everybody turns. Okay? You either die the hero, or retire the hero at a short career, or you wrestle long enough to be the heel. And if you don't embrace it early, like guys like The Rock did, Stone Cold was rebellious, like all these guys, Undertaker, if you don't embrace it early, it's coming. I think in the back of people's minds, they all knew eventually it's going to come. And again, unfortunately for Cena, the Golden Boy routine was already blown up when Hogan turned. If a guy like Hulk Hogan could turn heel, anybody can turn heel. So it's only a matter of time, Cena, that you go. And we're going to be here with open arms welcoming it. So that's why it's not as big or it's not as impactful. It's very shocking and surprising in a good way for me, but just in general, but it's not as big. So I am very happy to see how this turns out. Maybe he'll turn back real quick. Who knows how long this heel turn is gonna be. But I was happy to see it. I'm excited to keep seeing heel Cena, Darth Cena, and for the lessons out there, for the folks out there asking, why the hell are you talking about wrestling like this, you weirdo? I'm talking about an escape from the mundane of your day-to-day. Okay? I'm talking about something that's not really important in moving the needle of your advancement in your careers, your relationships, what have you. but I'm talking about something that I can turn on, shut my brain down, and get some pure entertainment out of as a hobby, as something fun to do, similar to video games, similar to watching a movie or a reality show. Okay. And I'm talking about this to serve as a reminder for everybody that and this is another actually a trending dating app prompt that you see. I'm hoping you don't take life too seriously. Okay? And there's a billion quotes out there from famous people and in movies and stuff. You're never going to get out alive. Don't take life too seriously. At the end of the day, we're all going to die. Let's enjoy it. Let's find enjoyment. And you might not like wrestling, but find your WWE. Find your silly, stupid thing that you know is not sophisticated and adult, but it's good, clean family fun for you. And it's not something you have to think about. It's not going to get you worked up or depressed or sad or anything, and you can just enjoy it as a fan. Whether it's a sports show, wrestling, reality show, maybe you're into The Bachelor or Love is Blind or Love Island or whatever it is, that's your thing. Find your silly thing to enjoy in life because we only get one life. Okay? So go find that thing that's going to make you happy when the main character turns to the bad guy. Go find your WWE and enjoy it and tell me about it. And we could talk about it here on the show one day. For me, one of those things is wrestling. I like video games. I like watching movies. I like watching repeat TV shows that turn my brain off and give me pure, unadulterated entertainment. It's not going to move the needle in my life as far as career progress. It's not, I'm not, if I watch an hour of wrestling, I'm not going to be able to get more clients for Spearhead. I understand that. What it can do is it gives me joy and entertainment to watch. And I don't have to pay attention. Oh, I need to write this stuff down. So I got to test on Cena's heel turn next week. No, I don't have to pay attention. I can have it on in the background, enjoy it while it's on, while I'm also working on something that does move the needle. So find your Darth Cena. This made me happy. I wanted to share it with you guys. I don't expect you all to like wrestling. I'm not sitting here to campaign for everybody to like wrestling. But I would like you to find your wrestling, find your Darth Cena, and share it and be happy about it. Understand that we don't have to take life too seriously. I had a half of a shitty week last week. It evened out. It ended up evening out. And certainly one of the things that helped was watching Cena turn heel, for damn sure. So don't. Find your Cena. That's how many more times do I have to say it? Find your Darth Cena. Don't take your life too serious. It's not that serious. Not everything is that serious. Okay? It's just life. All right? And it's going to happen regardless of whether we're expecting it or want it to or whatever. Okay? So let's enjoy it while it happens. And that's all I have to say about that. Congratulations to Darth Cena. Very happy he's a bad guy now. I can finally be a pro Cena fan. So, with that, before we go, very quickly, the big three, the three pillars to staying strong and being a better, happier, kinder, healthier, less stressed, more genuine human being and being able to spread that positivity and goodness to all those around you throughout the land. Number one, exercise every day. Even if your gym is closing down. Exercise every day. Do something each and every day to improve your fitness physically, mentally, or emotionally. And if you need help to figure that out, come ask me about it. Number two, the hardest one to do, don't be a shitty person. Be a kind person. When the opportunity arises to be shitty to somebody or negative in general or initiate negativity or chaos or stir the pot, take the LPDS step back, detach from those emotions that are compelling you to do that, and then omit yourself from the situation altogether. Just don't do it. It's simple in concept, but very difficult to actually do in the moment. I get it. But if you do that, you'll have less negativity and shit in the world and in your own space. And now you'll have the capacity to fill that void, that space, with positive, productive things in your lives. And it's going to help you get better and feel better about yourself. Number 3, the most important one, be genuinely thankful for grateful for all the good you have in your lives. And it doesn't matter how small it might be. And that's the thing. It could be as simple and trivial as this beautiful bottle of sparkling water. Now, if you ask most people around here in the first world, it's just water, dude. Get over it. But if I take this bottle over to a different part of the world, they would be creaming their pants with excitement. You have a bottle of clean water. And it's in a glass bottle, and it's carbonated, and it's cold and delicious and clean. And if you do that a little bit even each and every day, think about those things in your lives that you would normally take for granted. Think about what your life would be like without that thing or that person or experience or whatever. That's going to put you in that state of gratitude. And you couple that with not being a shitty person and not being negative and being a kind person. And you couple that with exercising every day. And I promise you, you'll be a better, happier, kinder, healthier, less stressed, more genuine human being. You'll be able to spread that positivity and goodness to all those around you and throughout the land. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell your friends and enemies and hit that hotline 202-670-1114. Questions, comments, advice, jokes, whatever you want to do, call it up 202-670-1114. Thank you guys again. I love you all. Stay strong.